Hello crafty friends, I'm Lean from Studio Kato and I'm so glad you're joining me again today. Today is another Casual Friday here on my YouTube channel, and this card is so simple I almost played the video in real time, but I figured the voiceover would be pretty boring if I did that, so I'm just speeding it up a little bit. Now I'm using some stamps by Tim Holtz. These are the Mini Bird Crazy stamp set, and they're quite old, but I really love them, and they're red rubber stamps, so they stamp really nicely. Now I'm doing some spotlight pattern stamping, and what that means is I'm making a pattern where one image is different than the others or stands out in some way. And you can do this with any stamp set you have. I do this a lot. I haven't shown it on my YouTube channel yet, but I do this quite often. Pattern stamping makes for a really fun and quick card. This design is actually based on a Christmas card I made a couple years ago, where I replaced the witch hat with the Santa hat, and for the rest it's basically the same. So the trick to pattern stamping like this is stamp your spotlight image first, so that's exactly where you want it to be. So I started off with the witch's head here, and I did stamp that in a darker shade. I'm using the Pinkfresh Studio inks because I will be coloring some of it with colored pencils, and a dye ink is perfect for that. I am stamping on a piece of craft cardstock, and I die cut that before starting with the A2 sized nesting stitched rectangles by the ton. I will leave the correct product name because I'm pretty sure I fumbled it up. I will leave that listed in the description below. And then I just stamp all the heads around it in a lighter shade of ink, again with the Pinkfresh Studio inks. And if you have trouble lining things up, I am not fussy about doing it completely straight. No one will notice anyway, or it doesn't really matter. So, but if you do care about that, and if you're worried about stamping straight, you can draw some pencil lines, and that might help you. I did that for a couple of designs before, where it was important that everything was completely straight. So that's definitely a possibility. Now for spotlight stamping, I always color my spotlight image. It's just a fun way to add a pop of color to your card. And I'm doing this with the Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils. And I'm doing a really quick job in this because it's a really small and simple image. These images by Tim Holtz are super easy to color and shade because they have a ton of shading in them already. For my sentiment, I am using a stamp from Reversed Confetti, and this one is from the Halloween Sentiments stamp set, and I'm stamping that on there in Versamark ink. I'm using my Misty to get it precisely where I want it to be, and then I emboss that with Wow Bright White Superfine Embossing Powder. To add a little dimension to this design, I am propping that panel up on my card base using 4 thick pieces of white cardstock. And I'm just layering those behind it with Barely Art Precision Craft Glue, and then I can use that same glue to adhere the whole thing to my card base. Then I'm going to fold my envelope out of green cardstock to match the witch's head, and I'm just using my We Are Memory Keepers 123 punch board to fold an A2 sized envelope. This is really simple, so I'm just going to go back to the stamping technique a little bit. I really like this stamping technique because you can do a lot of things with it. Like I used the Little Ghost Agenda stamp set by Mama Elephant. These agenda stamp sets always have small images, and they always focus on one critter or snowman or something like that. And they always have one plain image, so just a fox with no other accessories. And then they always have one with a balloon, so you can use the balloon image for your spotlight image and stamp all the plain ones around it. I used the Little Ghost Agenda stamp set before, and I stamped all the plain ghosts in just clear embossing, which gave them a real look of transparency. That was really fun. And then I colored in the one ghost with the balloon and the party hat. So you can use this technique for any occasion, and I really like that. It's a really fun technique to go back to when you're stuck for ideas. And I really like how this one turned out with that pop of green. Usually I color my witch's hat in black, but this needed a pop of color, so I used the green, and it matches my envelope perfectly, so that's always fun. I hope you liked the card and the envelope. I hope you liked the video and the technique. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to read them. Do you enjoy pattern stamping? Are there any other stamping techniques that you love? What's that one stamping technique that you go back to when you're a little bit out of ideas? I'd love to know. But if you're stuck for ideas, you can also browse my YouTube channel for more techniques or fun designs. And you can also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.